demonstrate an OCR scan for an insurance card. So we'd open up a patient. And you notice on the right side, there's a get card data. Right now it's grayed out. You're only going to see it when you're on one of the 3 insurance tabs. So I can get the data one of 2 ways. I can either scan like I normally would just from a scanner. The cards is in front of you and you can just scan it. Or if you already have some cards previously scanned, since Lytec has scanning for over 10 years, you probably have a lot in your system already. And that's the method I'm going to use today because I don't have a live scanner put together. I'm going to select my images. Let's see, let's do GHP. And I'm going to pretend that I have a simplex scanner that just does one side. So I'm going to do the front, then I will pull the back. And I've constructed this screen with a GHP front and a GHP back, just using some files that I'd already, some cards I'd already scanned. When I hit OK, that will start the process to go read the card, get the information from Accurate, and then bring back a validation screen. You can also do this if you have a duplex card, and I'll go through that after we're finished here. So let me make this a little bit larger so you can see it. This is the validation screen that you would get once the information is brought back from Accurate. You can see the card that you scanned, and then the information in the upper right is what was taken off of that card. You can kind of scan through and make sure that it got everything that you wanted. If there was an effective a from and to date on the card, it would fill that in. In this case, notice that it has an office visit copay and a specialist copay because the card has both. If I were a specialist and I want that copay to come across into the patient in Lytec, then I would just check that box and the 40 would come over versus the 20. If multiple addresses are found on the card, and some cards do have that, you would see the multiples here. You could select the one you want. Same thing, as you can see, there's 4 phone numbers that were scraped off the back. And maybe in my office, I want to make sure that I would be calling this 4470 number. So that's the one I'm going to check. And I'll show you in a minute how that's helpful. So everything looks good here. I'll click OK. And it has brought some of the information back into Lytec. Notice some information is printed above where the insurance code was. That's going to be helpful in case, in this particular case, maybe I'm looking for Coventry. I need to see that if I already have it. I do not in this case, but if I did, and I could see off to the side here, P.O. Box 7170, I'd know by looking at what I have printed here that it's the same one, and I could, with confidence, pick the correct one. So that's why the address is there too, because a lot of times that's the only thing that might distinguish an entire batch of GHPs or Blue Crosses or United Healthcares, that sort of thing. But in a case like this, I don't see them in here at all, so I will say Add. And notice that it's brought all the information from the card scrape into my insurance company screen. So all I really have to do is choose the right type here and maybe the fee schedule, and I could hit OK, and this insurance would now be in my insurance file to be used for this patient and any other that have Coventry in the future. It's also brought back, and this is new to display on the screen, the scan data, the name of the patient on the card. This can be helpful when you're trying to pick the relationship. Obviously, I'm in a patient with a different name than what's here, so maybe I need to make sure that it's a child or a spouse or something like that. So try to display that because you really can't go back to the card easily from this point, but by having it on the screen, hopefully it gives you an assist on checking and choosing the right insurance code and relationship. So let me go to another tab, and this time I'll do a card that's duplex. And I'm going to pick an Anthem. So I have a duplex Anthem in here. Okay. One thing that's very important here is when you do have a duplex card, verify at this point that in the duplex column here, I pulled it out a bit, that it says yes, that it's a duplex. Notice the ones where it's just front and back, it says no. This yes on a duplex is very important for the scan, because even though it's both, you can see both on the screen right now, when I bring that back, we split it into a front and the back for the scanning. So do make sure that that you have that as the correct setting. If it's not the right setting, double click it. Your description window should pop up, and you can check the box that says duplex. And then once it's set, it'll always be set. So I'll do a scan here for my duplex card, and we should get the same type of information that we had on the card that we put together, the front and the back. So here I can see my front and back of the card and the information that was taken off of it. Notice I don't have any kind of a copay at this point. Since I'm not on the primary tab, even if I had a copay here, I'm only going to show it when I'm on the primary. And let's see, which number do I want? 5554321, and I'll check this just in case I need to add it. And again, it's brought the information back with the zip code here, so that as I'm going through to see if maybe I have this Blue Cross already, I could look for that zip code, and I don't see that I have one with that zip code, so I could, again, click Add and add that as a new insurance company in my system. And it's also brought the name back. So that's the two ways that you can build your cards. Actually, three. You can scan it live, bring it back as a front and back that's already been scanned, or bring it back as a previously scanned duplex.